Howdy everyone. So a bit of a special today. I saw this little notification come up on the YouTube channel and I thought, wow, it's been 4 years since I actually started this channel. Now for the first few months this channel didn't do anything, it just kind of sat dormant. Then it was a podcast for a while and then it turned into what you see now. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to do something a bit different, and I am also aware that some subscribers haven't been here through the whole journey. Some people, maybe this is even the first vlog they've ever seen. People started at different points in the past 4 years. It's been a hell of a journey. It really has gone way, way beyond anything that we thought it would. And I thought for that reason I would like to give you a recap and show you where we came from to where we are now and how things have changed. What do you think, little one? Off you saw. Say hello. Let me take you back to where it all began during the COVID times, where like everybody else in the world, we were in lockdown. I was actually in a small cottage in the rural English countryside, so I was quite lucky in that respect, but I wasn't with my family. I kind of got trapped in the UK and I hadn't seen Otis and Damo for nearly a year. I've been locked down, and so the journey, the channel really started up there, where I decided that I'd turn on the camera and start this YouTube channel. Previous to that, I'd been working in the hospitality industry in Bali. Obviously everything had closed down. I'd been living and working in Bali. I'd lived in Thailand for about 10 years at that point. My main focus at this point in time was getting back to Otis and Damo. And I was one of the first back into the country, and we'd filled in lots of complex forms in order to get back in. The rules then were quite rigorous. When you were traveling, you had to wear masks. You had to have testing just before you flew. So it was really difficult to get back. It was also a time of real high anxiety because I'd not seen my little boy. I only had one little boy at that point in time, and I'd not seen him for so long that it was quite an anxious time. Trying to get back, I kept thinking that something's going to go wrong. Even boarding the flight, something's going to go wrong. I'm not going to be able to go and see Otis and Damo. But then when I did get back, I quarantined in a hotel in Bangkok, and it was very nice. They upgraded me to this cool room, and I guess this is where the Real Thailand channel started. Before, I'd not really had many subscribers. Maybe there was about 1,000 people that would watch the podcast, which was based around psychedelics, and I interviewed people such as Rick Strassman and Rupert Sheldrake and interesting authors in the field of psychology and entheogens. But most people were not interested. When I arrived in Bangkok, there was a lot of people interested, because at that point in time during COVID, a lot of people wanted to get home. And so they were watching my journey and just seeing how that they may do it. And I was trying to be as helpful as I could, answering as many comments as I could to help people get back. And I was finally let out of the room and on my way to be reunited at the airport with little Otis and Damo. And so this was my arrival there. Let's see. Oh my God, there he is. No? Hello. 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 Come here. Come on then. Come on. Come here. Ah, there he is. There he is. What's that then? Oh, so good to see you guys. Oh. You alright? Are you alright? Is that funny? Is that funny? So after this time, everything was new to me. We only had this kind of open, bare patch of land, and we didn't know what to do with it. We had been saving for our retirement and, you know, working and saving and stuff. So, but those funds during that time, we thought would be important, because who knew how long I was going to be out of work and what we were going to do. So at the start, we stayed in the wooden house, which was already built on Damo's land. Damo's sister and Damo had built it. I sent money back to build it when they were working in Bangkok in banking, and we stayed in that house, and it was really nice. It was lovely to be with family and just to have those times where we were kind of free in a big open space. Again, we were very lucky that we weren't locked down in a confined space. We had like a big open space to move around in, and it was just a wonderful time to be with them. And that's when we kind of really picked up the vlogging, and we thought, we'll just continue to this. Because the channel was getting popular and we had so much good feedback from you guys in the comments, we thought, let's just do this. Let's continue to share our journey. And, some of you would have been around since that particular time where there was no cottage or house or anything, and nothing had been built. And that was an interesting time. We were kind of learning as well how do we vlog. Like we weren't social media people, so I wasn't even on Facebook at the time, so it was just kind of weird that non-social media people that we would be jumping on camera and kind of sharing our life. And that's when the channel really started to grow and take off, and people that were tuning in were interested in alternative lifestyles and seeing how people lived in rural Thailand. I think that was important to a lot of people. Many people at that time as well still wanted a window to the world. So they were missing family in Thailand, or they were missing taking holidays to Thailand, and the vlog was a little bit like a window to the world. And we got loads of really good feedback, and I recognize people commenting today that were commenting back then, believe it or not. It's been a real journey. I'm always surprised that so many people have stuck with us for so long. And so as time went on, we felt that it would be nice to start developing our little patch of land. We did little things at first, just like planting corn and making it into a garden. We thought we didn't want to kind of put too much expense into it. And I was browsing around on Facebook one day and I found these beautiful bamboo huts. And I thought, okay, let's try it out. Let's try and live in bamboo huts on our little patch of land. We didn't want to commit to building a house because, to be honest, we didn't think we were going to be here in rural Thailand for very long. So we ordered one of the bamboo huts and I moved into it first on a little patch of land just on my own out there in the beginning. Obviously, we were spending all the days together and doing the garden and things like that. But in the beginning, it was just on my own out there. I got to say, this is probably one of my favorite times because I took time to learn about gardening more, which I'd never really done. And I was working with bamboo and building stuff. And so that was keeping you kind of healthy and active. And you're out in the open field in nature every day, in the elements, in the weather, the sun hitting your face in the morning. You can hear all the birds. You hear the patter of the rain on the bamboo rooftop at night time. And it's just a beautiful time, really. I really enjoyed one of my real favorite times. A time where I felt very, very connected to nature. And the stress wasn't too hard then as well, because we had savings. We weren't planning on building anything too big. Otis was little, so we were just homeschooling him. And we planned to actually live in those bamboo huts. We actually got Damo 1, and then we went on to build the kitchen. So our long-term plan was actually to have the bamboo huts long-term. Of course, we didn't know if I was going to go back to work in Bali, because we didn't know the situation with the corporate structure that I was working for. Were they going to get rid of senior managers to save the bigger money, and cut costs post-COVID? So I didn't really know if I had a job or not. And to be honest, we put it out of our minds. We just thought, well, we were living very comfortably in the bamboo huts and we were documenting this. And it was really a lot of fun. What do you care? Bye, night, cap.
Bye, bye.
โอ้ยบายบาน
บาท
ครับ
ไปไหนดิ
เฮ้ยเดินเล่นนะครับ I'd just like to mention our partners that have been with us from day one of this vlog. SURFSHARK VPN. So many out there have already downloaded SURFSHARK VPN and we thank you for it. And for those that haven't, if you're in the market for a VPN, make sure you use my code BAMBOO, which is going to get you probably the best deal available online for a VPN. SURFSHARK VPN is going to protect your privacy online while browsing, but more than that, it has a number of built-in features now, such as an ad blocker, a pop-up blocker, a data breach alert, and a malware alert that are available for you to use at any time. Additionally, if you are bored of your Netflix libraries and you want to switch things up a little bit, change your country in the top right corner here and you will have access to different libraries from around the world, which will increase your viewing pleasure. I've also mentioned before that to avoid price discrimination, a VPN can be very helpful because sometimes you are charged a price based on the location you're searching from. Switch your location in the top right corner and check if there's any difference in the price. As I mentioned, use our code word BAMBOO below, link in the description, and that's going to get you 3 months free and an exclusive Surfshark discount. And thank you again to them for being a part of this journey for the past 3 years. As I said, the kitchen was built then. We're on to the kitchen build, which was our first taste of construction and we thought might be a good test for us before we built our cottage or we built the house. And it was. We finished the outdoor kitchen. We thought it was quite a unique concept, something that not everybody was doing. And although stressful at times, even though it was a small build, could still be a little bit stressful, it was a lot of fun and it really started to shape our land. And the land that was before just like a garden and a project became our home. A feeling of home, feeling of home, right? A place where we all felt as a family very, very comfortable and a place that more and more I just really didn't want to leave. The day did come, however, where business opened up and the world started to open up again. And of course I was happy for everybody that people could go back to work and they could get their lives going, they could see their relatives and the crazy madness had stopped. That was a great thing, but within that there was a slight bit of disappointment because the home that we built, we were going to have to leave. And it was at this point where I decided to fly back into Bali and go back to work, and Damo and Otis, they flew back with me as well, and we thought we'd continue our life there and look forward to our retirement in the future, and maybe that's when we would see the farm again. But then arriving back in Bali, even though the job was very cushy and we lived in a 5-star hotel and we were kind of waited on and it was all great, like your income is very high in those kind of positions, we still felt very unhappy, and I felt very unhappy and I was feeling ill and sick. And then when me and Damo, we sat down and we looked at, well, how much did it actually cost us to live on the farm in comparison to how much it cost us to live in Bali. And we decided actually we would be better off to be back on the farm rather than be in Bali. It was good fun for a holiday and whatnot, but we felt that we needed to make the most of it, and we'd had savings, and both Damo and I had started little businesses. I'd registered a company in Thailand already, and so I had a small business operating that was growing, and Damo also had a small business that was growing, and we looked at the incomes from these businesses and felt that actually this is enough income to sustain at the farm and to be able to save for long-term retirement, which was important to us. So we decided I would stay for a few more months in order to work some more and collect a few paychecks, which was quite difficult because my health was deteriorating as well at the time. I can't tell you the impact it was having on my health. I can't explain it. I went to multiple doctors, went to the hospitals in Bali, and they just couldn't find anything, even with multiple scans. And so Damo actually came back and she started building the cottage. In the first couple of months, she was doing it all alone, project managing the build of the cottage. until then, I also decided to cut my time short in Bali and come back and commit to this life. And so I came back and we finished the construction of our cottage, which was to be our home for life. And of course, we vlogged it for all you guys, and you guys give us a lot of feedback, and a lot of people, even to this day, ask me about the design, and they copy the design or make something quite similar. And then of course we took you along for the birth of baby Hugo, another member to the family. Damo and I had said we would only ever have one child, but we love the children on the farm, and we felt it'd be nice for Otis to have a brother or sister to take care of each other in later days. And also one of the motivations was I saw Tis getting older and older in the vlog, and felt like, you know, he's going to fly the nest one day. It would be nice to have another 6 years with a child, because the farm isn't the same without the children. And so, as well as the many other trips and vlogs on various topics, that brings us to today, where we are. What's 3 years has gone by, but to be honest, guys, it feels like 10 years, and that's no exaggeration. Maybe even feels a little bit longer than that. I feel like I've aged a lot. Damo feels like she's aged a lot, because when you build your own house and you've got kids and you've also got small businesses and stuff, it can be a lot of pressure, and sometimes you just got to keep pushing until the goal is complete. There was a lot of people, you know, not everybody had our best interest on the channel. There were some people that was looking for us to fail. There's still some people that look for us to fail. You receive hate, you receive people that want to see bad things happen to you, but we pushed on past that. We're always thinking about 5 years ahead, like what's for the future. Are we okay for the next 5 years? Yes. And then what do we need to do to make sure we're okay for 5 years after that? So that's the kind of way we plan, and we work as a team, and we work hard at it together and try to support not only our family but Yai and the other kids, and make sure everyone is all right. We work as a small community and take care of each other. But one of the main things that I'm really kind of grateful for in life is my ability to spend so much time with Otis and Hugo and Damo, to spend time with my children. I think it's one thing that I won't look back on with regret, like, oh, I spent too much time with my children. I think, like, the sacrifice of my corporate status, where I was going in life, like I was going pretty high in the company, but the sacrifice of that to be with my children and to live a more modest life. I wouldn't say like it's a simple life much anymore, because I don't think it is a simple life. I think it's just more of a modest life, let's say. That is, to me, been the biggest gift that I could get from this. So I hope you've enjoyed the little story today and the recap. I know for some people you'll remember a lot of these vlogs and everything that we've been through. Sawasdee krab.ครับผม ขี่จักรยาน So he's on his bike. I said you'll remember some of these vlogs, some of these stories, you know, those that followed, and those that haven't. I hope you've enjoyed our little story of how we did things and where we're up to now with it. So thanks, guys. You're going to be seeing more of these nighttime vlogs or these later vlogs, because it's just too hot in the day to do anything. It's too hot in the day to go on camera and walk around. So we live our times either at the nights or the early mornings. Take care, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it, and be well.